amongst all those palm trees, that is our multi-million-dollar homes at the Coronado Caves Resort Community, as well as the Rose of Coronado Resort Hotel. Now, folks, I don't know if you can tell how hard I was laughing inside when I said that. I do it every time, folks, to think that is multi-million-dollar homes, considering it started out as a hog farm for Coronado. And what's even better than that is they shut down the hog farm. They felt the best way to backfill it for development purposes. They made it this way for Coronado. So go without saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure. All the way out into San Diego Bay, ladies and gentlemen, that large peninsula that you see off the front of the boat there in the haze. Just about a 3-minute drive to get on board here in San Diego. And all the way out to the peninsula there, folks, is the lowest point of the Southwest continental United States. That is what's known as Friendship Park. Also at the end of San Diego Bay, you will find the Liberty Coastal Science Center. That is a nature estuary, open to the public, birds of prey, burrowing owls, large green sea turtles, all types of critters from the sea as well as the bay. Also off the front of our boat, you have the National City Marine Terminal. That is where we get our import vehicles. One out of every 10 vehicles that come to the United States comes right here to San Diego Bay. That averages out over 500,000 vehicles a year. It's also where we have the Pasha Hawaii, Pasha Automotive Group. They have 3 large ships called roll-on, roll-off ships. They will transport anything that rolls and fits in ships to and from the Hawaiian Islands. Now, folks, you're probably thinking, you know, we've been traveling along the entire naval base and I haven't said a single thing about it. Well, the reason is, guys, it's all top secret. So from here on out, we get the bridge. Unfortunately, you're on your own, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not really kidding, so don't go nowhere. I'm pacing myself. Because if you're ready, folks, on the count of 3, I'm going to take a deep breath. We're going to rock and roll, and I'm going to tell you about every last one of them. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. All the way out there on the right side, folks, all these ships with diagonal masts. These are Navy destroyers, DDGs. They perform primarily in a peacekeeping role, escort duties for the carrier, as well as undersea and surface warfare, guided missiles, 5-inch guns, anti-aircraft guns, and electronic weapons of the bomb. They will seek, track, destroy, all the way out there, you have 106 the Stockdale, 108 the Lady Myers, 111 the Stewart, 113 the John Shea, 76 the Higgins, 69 the Villiers, 105 the Dewey. You also have 57, which is a guided missile cruiser, a CG, the largest of the combat ships. Performs primarily in a battle force role. They're known as guided missile cruisers. 57, the Lake Champlain. All the weapons and all the jobs of the Navy destroyers. Large ship with the cranes in the front, United States naval ship. It belongs to the Navy, but it is sailed by the military SEAL Command in a support role. That is the Curtis, aviation logistics ship. Carries everything from import needs to build everything by airstrip. Large boxy barges with windows in the sides. These are called boarding barges. They're like floating hotels and restaurants. Now, what they'll do, folks, is not all these sailors have a room in the barracks. They do sleep and dine on the ship. Well, when maintenance takes place, it gets noisy, it gets dirty. They bring one of these berthing barges alongside, just like you see alongside the Paul Hamilton. That gives these sailors a quiet place to sleep and dine. 3 smaller boats all in a row. Anti-mine countermeasure ships known as minesweepers. They go out, they seek, track, and destroy enemy mines. You have the Arctic, the Scout, their champion. Again, 60, the Paul Hamilton. Out behind this large flat top is a guided missile cruiser, the Cape St. George. Out behind the None of these Independence-class ships were needed, and the reason is they're built for speed. And these ships that will slow down. The reason they are not needed, they are built for long. Now the first one is